All right, so what you guys are about to see is a conversation that I had with a far lefty, and it came off of a tweet that said, "Is this bill actually bad? House Bill 3047. If you tell people that a Nazi works at blank for the purpose of warning an employer that they have employed a Nazi, you can be sued?" To which I replied, "Yes. That's bad. How would you like it if people went to your place of employment and told them that you are a fascist sympathizer, or a Nazi, or a communist, or a member of the Klan, or a leader of Aryan Brotherhood? You'd love that, wouldn't you? Defamation shouldn't be okay." To which this far lefty guy started responding to me.
If I have pictures of you in Klan robes burning crosses and I take it to your employer and they fire you, that's not defamation. If your employer is willing to fire you because some rando called you a Nazi, that's an indictment on you, not your boss.
What people do on their own time is their own business, even if it's stupid crap like that. If they commit no crimes, their private life is their business. And if they bring their idiocy to work, that would be grounds to fire them in the first place already. If they don't, who cares?
Klan membership equals stupid shit, but okay off the clock, correct? So you'd advocate for the job of Al-Qaeda members as well? Both are terrorist groups. Or maybe ideology is a reflection of character and has value in how you judge people, like employing them.
Talk about a false equivalency. Comparing the Klan to the Panthers, maybe. But Islamic terror? Stop. The Klan hasn't done anything for half a century, and I'll take your point. I'll even throw in Antifa. Same. Antifa has committed more crime and has killed more black youth lately. So are you willing to say that membership in an organization that has a history of crime, death, and prejudice should be enough to make you a total pariah? Unable to get a job and make a living? I could support that, as long as there isn't any hypocrisy with it anyway. As for your initial query, do I think it's okay personally? No. But I'm a freedom guy. You do you, I do me, and as long as you doing you doesn't bother me doing mine, who cares? Do your thing, live your life. Have your little stupid opinions and beliefs. More power to you. The glory of a free society is that stupid people can believe stupid things, say stupid things, and be corrected by much more intelligent people providing better arguments. Otherwise, how will people learn or affirm their own beliefs? Echo chambers? Sheeple? No thanks.
I find it revealing you backpedal so quickly to a vague idea of freedom when confronted with treating Nazi sympathizers the same way you would treat Al-Qaeda supporters.
I didn't backpedal at all, actually. I simply said that I would give you your point if you applied it fully, equally, and without hypocrisy. Most people won't do that. They get tunnel vision and only go after them, while their own is equally as bad, or even sometimes worse. Also, the idea of freedom isn't vague at all. It's actually pretty clear-cut in black and white. Islamic radicals, radical communists, radical anarchists, radical racists, whatever flavor of radical you want to talk about, all have the freedom to believe and think as they wish. Their actions, however, is where accountability comes into play. If people act on their radicalization, kill people, hurt people, destroy property, whatever crime you want to talk about, then they should be dealt with. But thought police are the antithesis of a free society.
You do understand that Islam is a religion, communism is an economic theory, anarchism is a political theory, and racists are just bigots, right?
Are you really trying to say that only one's belief in God is or can be a religion? The second definition of religion is a pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance. They all apply and can all be radicalized. Brown shirts, Klan, Bolsheviks, ISIS.
Not even remotely. Just pointing out the rambling, disconnected buzzwords you're using to make your point. Hitler didn't personally kill millions. Ideology freaking matters and should have consequence in society.
Only if they are acted upon. Words aren't violence. Violence is violence. Also, Hitler ordered the killings of millions. That makes him responsible. His actions.
How the frick do you think he got into a position where he could kill millions? By cultivating and spreading his ideology. Don't you think using the benefit of hindsight confronting people who share his ideology might be a good idea? Maybe have consequences in society?
You're arguing a point that I already agreed to. But do you agree that it should be even across the board? No hypocrisy, no picking and choosing the bad guy? Crimes are crimes and rhetoric is bad rhetoric and should be ostracized the same way?
I haven't advocated or defended any position other than getting fired for being a bigot is okay and just. Why the frick would I agree to your both sides nonsense?
So you're a hypocrite who only wants people fired that he disagrees with. That's the problem with fascist authoritarians like you guys. You want people you disagree with ostracized and destroyed because they believe differently than you. That's fascism, Cupcake. I prefer freedom. And there's no buzzwords used in the creation of this lesson, by the way. They're actual words. Freedom and liberty are the foundation of this country. Cornerstones that you people continue to erode because of fascism. The idea that only people who agree with you should have lives. People should have freedom to think how they want to think, believe what they want to believe, love who they want to love, and hate who they want to hate. Thoughts, feelings, and words are their own, just like they're your own. Thought police is fascism. Book burning is fascism. What people fail to understand is who is going to be the one making the rules as to what is acceptable or not. You brought up Hitler. He was the thought chief of police. If you sympathized with the Jews, gays, mentally ill, or handicapped, you were no better than they were. And you got treated the same way they did by the Nazis. So in your utopia of thought police, who makes the rules? Do you? Do I? Does your neighbor? And you're all for the people getting fired, huh? Well, what's next? You want to get them branded on the forehead saying they're Nazis? How far do you want to take it? Throw them on trains and take them to camps to be re-educated? What if they can't be re-educated? Kill them? How far you want to go to eradicate this world of all those bigots running around? Like I said before, I prefer freedom. I prefer to live in a society where stupid people get to have stupid thoughts and can be combated with better thoughts in a free society and exchange of ideas. It's the only way bigotry and ignorance can fully be defeated. What say you?
LOL.
And that's it. That is the entirety of the conversation. He just stopped. He LOL'd and crickets. It really is a shame that there are so many people out there that don't actually take the time to sit there and think about the repercussions of what they really want. The repercussions of such a large, sweeping government that completely eradicates freedom, free thought, free expression. Yeah, there's stupid people out there. Yeah, there's bigots out there. Yeah, there's horrible, horrible people out there. It's life. You cannot legislate morality. You cannot legislate people's thoughts. You cannot legislate things that make them think that way in the first place. You cannot do it. It is impossible. The only thing that you can do is what people like Pol Pot did and killed 2 million people who had an education, believed a certain way, and just kill them. It was more than 2 million people. Or you could be like the Chinese right now who are sitting there rounding up Uyghurs, throwing them into camps because they don't like how they think, don't like what they believe. Or you could be like the Middle East and start throwing gays off of rooftops. Or you could be like Hitler was and just start rounding up all the Jews and the mentally handicapped, the mentally ill, and the gays, throwing them in death camps. I prefer not to live in a society like that. I prefer to live in a free society. I prefer to live in a free country that we are losing. And we will continue losing it as long as good people do nothing, as long as good people sit silently and allow it to happen. It is important to have these conversations with morons like this guy, because maybe, hopefully, through all of that, through me asking the questions that I asked, and made them stop and go, no, that's a fair point. Who gets to make those rules? Now, a lot of them are stupid enough to actually believe that they're going to be the only ones in power. And therefore, they will make the rules, and people they agree with will make the rules. But what they fail to see, what's happening right in front of them, even in their own little ninja groups that they go around and smash windows with, that even within those groups, people are being ostracized and kicked out of the groups. There's people splintering off of Antifa because they're getting attacked because they said something they weren't supposed to, or they thought something they weren't supposed to, or they didn't believe in a certain tactic. They're watching it happen all around them, and yet they fail to see it. So hopefully, somebody watching this video will listen to some of the questions that I asked this guy that he couldn't answer, that he refused to answer, that he flat out ignored, and stop and think about for just a moment, how big of a government do they want us to have? Joe Biden just announced this new plan that is growing our government more than it has ever grown before. So much more control, so much more power to the federal government that the federal government was never supposed to have. But it has grown substantially after the New Deal, after the Great Society, and it will again after Joe Biden. We need to start standing up, America. We need to start getting out there, start getting into the streets, start doing things, start exercising our free speech, exercising our freedoms, and start standing up for our freedoms. Because if we don't start now, if we don't stop being afraid and stop being lazy, we're going to lose it. We're going to lose it all.